The second conversation on the show. Lagos politics and consensus candidates. Recent developments within the Lagos APC, including withdrawals. We have seen recent developments, withdrawals from some aspirants, growing support around certain political figures, and this has renewed debates about internal democracy, party supremacy, grassroots participation, and what have you. And joining us on the conversation to do justice to this matter, we are joined by social affairs commentator Gbenga. Soloki. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. With my intro, I said we have seen recent development even from yesterday's. What happened yesterday for you? What was your reaction?
Firstly, I will say that the ruling party has also shown the lead in advancing the cause of democracy. You will remember that before now, we used to have three modes of picking candidates for elections. That's direct, indirect, and the consensus arrangement. The National Assembly, the Electoral Act, was amended to remove indirect, which is by collegiate. So now it's about the consensus or the direct mode. The APC came up with its own internal mechanism to say, okay, we're just going to abide by what the Electoral Act says, which is Electoral Act 2006-26-84-2. That there are just two ways with which parties can nominate candidates for elections: the direct mode and the consensus arrangement. Since the commencement of this exercise on Saturday, when they had the House of Representatives, and prior to then, there had been discussions. Some states adopted, some federal constituencies adopted what is called the consensus arrangement. And like the Electoral Act stipulates, where that fails, there will be direct primaries. On Saturday, let us use Lagos as example. We had consensus in some places. I can mention where we have the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly returned as sole candidate. Lagos here. I think we have three of them who are just returned like that. And the Electoral Act is very also clear that where one person disagrees with the consensus arrangements, definitely there will be primaries. So on Monday, we had the senatorial election where the senators were also elected. I think the three of them were also returned unopposed. But yesterday, from following what transpired on Saturday, we have seen further constituencies where there had been disagreements.
That's for the House of Representatives.
As for the House of Representatives. In the Alimosho, for example, the immediate past chairman of Mosokola has been claiming victory. The incumbent is also claiming victory. In Badagry, same thing. In Kushofe, the incumbent rep member Ogbara is also claiming victory. While the immediate past chairman of Agboiketu, Mayor Oshinowo, is also claiming victory. So, like that.
But what does this say now?
So I'm coming there.
Okay.
Yesterday again, we have seen everybody congratulating themselves. Even where we had two or three candidates, they are all congratulating themselves, while their supporters are also claiming victory. What it means is that thing, though he has his own merit, he also has its merit. So it behoves on the party to now put machineries in motion, because the party has sent out people who conducted those social elections. So there will be feedback from those who are physically there, who can always explain what sincerely transpired. Then that will form the basis with which the party will now react. And like the national chairman said, I've listened to him severally, said nobody has the right to announce results. Conduct election, bring your report back to the secretariat. And that's what so that's why I'm saying that it belongs on the party now to say, yes, you have done your job. So also now, okay, look, let us look at what the reports you are bringing in. We will have the written report, the visual report of what actually transpired, not just not just hearsay. So that is where they can always have accurate decision on that. Why they can take accurate decision on what transpired at both federal constituencies and state constituencies now.
Because again, Lagos politics is often described as highly organized and structured, compared to what happens in other states. And with these that is happening now, what's the handwriting on the wall?
It has remained the way it is. That's my opinion. Because when you look at it, prior to early this month, there were several people jostling to be governor of Lagos State. Just one single statement. I said, the deputy governor shall be a candidate. The man from Badagry tried his best. Alhamdulillah, he saw reason, and reason prevailed. I said, okay, I will follow. I will toe the line of the party, which shows that there is cohesion, there is synergy in the party, and there is a structure that determines what happens. But you see, in any human community or human society, definitely there are bound to be disagreements, which is what we are seeing everywhere and here. But the party has a structure with which it deals with its internal issues. Definitely, that is how to run a party. I've not seen or I've not heard an APC member dragging the party to court, unlike what we have in other parties. That is why the problem in the PDP and some of the ADC now, because most of them are not that, the parties are not that organized to respect the opinion or decision of the leadership. That's what the opposition has crumbled now. There's no opposition in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, because majority of the major ones, the ADC and the APC, maybe the NDC now, or the Labour Party, except the NDC, which some parties are also dragging with them. But all of them are in court. But I have not seen, if you can be corrected, we are a member of the ruling party, drags the party to court to tear the party apart. So
there's a scripture in the Bible that says, let he that stand take heed lest he falls. And so you have said other parties have issues in court and you haven't seen the ruling party yet. So what are your expectations, or how would you suggest the best handle? Because again, if this matter on ground is not handled properly, it can escalate, So for you, what would you expect, or how would you expect the leadership to handle this?
Well, like I mentioned one. I said, number one, they should call in their electoral officers to examine their books, to get direct reports from them, to know what has happened. Number two, to also ensure that aggrieved parties are pacified, if it means returning their money. And those who are not pleased can also be accommodated somewhere else. Because the cohesion has been the bedrock of the political party that we have as ruling party, especially in Lagos State. There is this cohesion that, okay, if you are not favored here, you will be favored here. We have seen aspirants whom the consensus arrangement had favored in the past, who are fighting tooth and nail now to say, no, I will not respect it. The party should not join such, but the party should also pacify such recalcitrant members. Because if care is not taken, there are some who are also trying to say, well, okay, we'll fight dirty, but unfortunately, the window has closed. There is no way you can go to another party now. But they can also organize to vote against their party. So that's why I would advise the leadership of the party not to coerce, intimidate, or threaten, but rather pacify. Dialogue. Pacification is what the party needs now. If the party goes ahead to say, okay, if you don't accept our position, we'll discipline you, they will run the problem. But pacify them, promise them what is available, and also ensure that peace reigns. It's only when peace reigns that there will be progress and development. Even in the states like Lagos, you will see that we are, at least compared to other states of the Federation, Lagos is still peaceful. When you look at the local government, I mean, you will see some of them are working, some are not working. When you see institutions, commissions in Lagos, you see them performing their statutory responsibility. So it's only when you have synergy, we have cohesion, we have rapport among stakeholders. That's when you can have such in a state.
Still talking about consensus now. Some believe that consensus helps political parties avoid crisis and promote party unity. Do you also share that sentiment?
To a greater extent, I want to agree that it should. But you know, like I mentioned, those who are beneficiaries of consensus arrangement in the past, most of them would not want to leave the position. Look at the man in Surulere state constituency. Here is a man who was forced on the people of Surulere for 12 solid years. Now they said, somebody who stepped down for you in 2023, they are now saying, okay, well, let us give such person a chance. You have stayed 11 years, between 12 years next year. You have stayed 11 years in the House of Assembly. And those who made you, who also spoke with others to also accept your candidacy, are asking now that you should also do same. You are saying no. That is not correct. But that does not mean that things will be looked from that perspective. But the fact remains that he has done that does not mean it is wrong. It helps to have synergy, to keep the party together. Because of the fact that if you know that you are not going to be supported, you not waste your money in canvassing, in doing, in campaigning, in mobilizing. You know that, okay, since, because what pains people most is after having been allowed the latitude to campaign, to also meet people, to also solicit support here and there, so many millions will have been spent. Then you can't tell the person to go and sit down. It will be painful. But if it is sustained, there's no way we will not have problem. Because to me, it's an initial, it's a teething problem. It's a teething problem now. Because you have it, it's just coming up. Before, we used to have what is called the indirect primary, where leadership of the party, but they may be at the local government level, at the ward level, at the state level, at the federal level, we go and participate to pick candidates for the party. But today, that has been removed. But like we said, like you mentioned, if sincerely followed, it will lead to greater participation, it will lead to unity in the party.
All right, still talking about structures now. We have influential political stakeholders, we have the GAC and all that, and let's talk about their roles in shaping political outcomes, especially here in Lagos.
You see, like we have mentioned, Lagos is a unique state. And you will see that some states are already copying the idea of the GAC. You will recollect in 2019 or 2018 thereabout, during the reign of Governor Ambode, it was the GAC that said, we don't want Ambode again. And they said, and they told the president now that, look, this man, they highlighted is an offense. It's offense. And there and then, who are we bringing? They brought, and those who are adjusting at that point in time, killed, or in quote, their ambitions. You understand? That is how a party should run. There should be control. There should be synergy. There should be understanding, mutual one. To the extent that when the party speaks, when the structures want to work, once they say this, it must be respected. Not in the situation whereby the party will talk, another people will talk, another set will talk. And no, we are not barbarians. But you look at what has happened now. Where people are just leaving for Ambode was mentioned, the chief of staff was mentioned, this was where everybody was mentioned. But when the GSA came up and said, okay, we have seen him, this is the person who want to carry on the good work of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, everybody queued behind him. That is how a party should run. People should not, parties should not run at cross purposes. They must run at the same pace, at the same they must be on the same page to also ensure that they keep the house together. Because politics or election nearing is about winning. It's about the majority.
numbers.
It's about the majority. If you don't have the numbers, so if you have the numbers, you keep the numbers together so that for future election you can always win. You could see Lagos has not been ruled by any other party except the progressives in Lagos, like we have the APC, CNAD, and the rest. So it is just what is working for them. So I will suggest, or I will appeal to other parties to also take a cue from what the APC is running in Lagos State. Especially I know that some states are copying it. To say, okay, we have a GAC now whose words are laws. There should be control. Because if there's no control, there will be destruction. There will be distractions. So when you see Lagos APC working same direction and also ensuring that issues are sorted out amicably without resorting to the court of law.
All right, finally, as we bring this conversation to a close, now beyond the endorsements, beyond political structures, beyond promises, because again, we're entering a season of promises, a lot of promises will be made. For you, what should voters focus on in it to ensure that, because again, I said something while we began the show, your vote is your power beyond whatever anybody is coming to say. And so what should voters look out for?
Number one, voters, I want to appeal that voters should look at antecedents of those who are coming to take their votes, who wants their votes. We must look at who is this person, examine the person, look at his background, look at what he has done, privately, publicly. 2, look at the party. Do we have, I mean, is it a party that is well structured? Is it a party that whose programs and manifesto aligns with is for people? You understand? Those are the things we must look at. It is not just because it's my brother, it's my townsman, it's my townswoman. No. You must look at what will benefit the people. Pro-people policies must be enunciated in the manifesto of such a party. So I will appeal to Lagosians to continue to support any party that gives them, that protects them, gives job, and transform their lives, especially the All Progressive Congress. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Gbenga Soloki, social affairs commentator. I hope I got your name. Yeah. I've been rehearsing it in my head. And we have spoken extensively on Lagos politics and consensus candidacy. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions and giving insight to this topic. Like I would say, the egg, or how did they say it now? The egg is in the basket of the voters. You are the ones that have the right to make and choose who you want. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
The program continues. Stay with us.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.